Hello everyone, Christopher Beast here, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the possible lore of Shootout. So, before we really get into the lore of Shootout, there is something I want to mention. Vigor is a video game, and as is true with any other facet of lore and story, the deeper you go and the more you tie the game, the story to its mechanics, the more confusing and the more issues you can draw. I've seen many other communities do something where they draw a line. They say, okay, this is just for gameplay mechanics. This isn't the story, this is gameplay mechanics. Which is smart. But I'm stupid, so we're not drawing that line. I will be honest, it is very easy to sit down and say, Shootout is just a fun mode designed by the devs. It has no story, it has no lore, it has nothing to do with the main game. It's very easy to say that. But I'm going to go on a whim here and say, maybe there is something. And we have to draw is, does Shootout actually happen? I know this sounds like a weird question, but the nature of Shootout is so much different than anything we see elsewhere in Vigor, and the way it works, it's quite easy to say that Shootout is just a weird fever dream that is caused by radiation. I personally don't believe this, though, and the main reason I don't believe this is actually due to the Battle Pass. In the Battle Pass, it directly mentions that the rivals are people who regularly engage in Shootout. I don't really, yeah, people can regularly engage in fever dreams, but I don't really think the Battle Pass would word it that way. I don't know. I think I'm just going on a whim here and saying, no, it's not a fever dream. So the next question you have to draw is this caused due to supernatural events or not? And if you say not, then you're just wrong. I don't really know any natural way in which the events in Shootout can happen. And in case you're curious, well, Chris, maybe, no. The events in Shootout show a human being being shot, killed many times over, coming back to life, and then exiting the area without any of the experience or events that happen there actually happening. Because you don't get to keep the guns, you don't really keep the heals, ammo, or injuries. You just get some food as a thank you and some XP. So, what do I think is actually going on here if it isn't a fever dream and it isn't something caused by natural events? I think the events in Shootout occur within a time loop. The reason I say this is multifold. The first reason, of course, is the ability of the rivals to go back into it over and over and over again. And I think that's sort of important that the Battle Pass mentions this, as for the reason it rules out Fever Dream, I think it actually makes Time Loop a especially good answer. If people are going in the Shootout over and over and over again, that's the game acknowledging that people are dying hundreds and hundreds of times as they are dying in Shootout and fighting in Shootout. The next thing, of course, is if it's a time loop, you would know where people are at the end of the time loop, thus explaining why when the last man standing activates, you're able to go track people down. It's a time loop. It has to end the same way every time. Now, the only question that comes in with this time loop is, why does it happen? The first idea is that it's caused by the Fjellgod. And this could be easily explained as it's the reason why you get the food reward. It's the Fjellgod saying, good job. You get the XP, obviously, from learning while you're shooting. That one's not too hard to figure out. And the reason why there's ammo and crates and stuff, that can also be tied to the time loop or the Fjellgod. It's either the Fjellgod giving you the means to fight each other, or it's the time loop re-rolling those crates back to an earlier instance where they held different loots. Both are equally possible. If this is truly a time loop, this is the first example of a very supernatural event occurring in Vigor. But we can actually extend this to regular Vigor. In regular Vigor, people die all the time, and things like the threat and stuff could also be explained to the Fjellgod. If the Fjellgod is the one bringing you back to life after you die from your assorted deaths that occur over the time, he could also be the one telling you where threat is. Again, that's much more on the wilder side of theory, as this entire theory really is, and it really is up to you what you believe. However, I think it is definitive fact. I say this as a falsehood. It's a fact, as in it's a theory that has to be true. is that it's a time loop. No other real answer makes too much sense to me. But how exactly you think the time loop got started is up to you. I do want to note here, nuclear annihilation does not cause time loops. I've seen a lot of media like, oh, we nuked that dude, now it's in a time zone. No, that's not how nukes work. Nukes do not affect the time-space continuum. They just don't. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to go into this. No, okay? That's all you need to know. No, it was not caused by a nuke. It has to be caused by something supernatural because nukes don't do that. This has been Christopher Beast, and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other statements, put them in the comments. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it. If you disliked the video, make sure you tell me why in the comments, and I'll try to fix it for next time. There's a link to my Discord in the description. Check it out. There's a lot of theorists there who have some good time. It's a nice little community we've got. If you want to watch me figure out stuff live, normally that would be on Mixer. Mixer is where I stream more laid-back streams. Twitch is where I stream videos, and normally before I record a video, it will be pre-recorded on Twitch, where I'll test out the challenge and do stuff like that. Yeah, so this has been Christopher Beast, and I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time.